Police arresting Jesus in halfway tree. I really, Jesus, one of my, what do you today? But the cross for the ground, after Jesus sacrificed himself. Man, I want to lock up Jesus. I first see this. Let's take a closer look at Jesus. Hey, let go off of Jesus. Stop being unfair to Jesus. Let go off of Jesus. Boy, Jesus. Boy, Jesus. Boy, Jesus. Wicked.
Now, people, just to start this video off on a lighter note before we get into the meat of the matter, crime, violence, or DEAD, or get caught up, or get hurt, the average regular stuff in a Jamaica. Now, people, when I first saw this video at a distance, I was saying, hold on a minute, all this in some sorts of white gown. I thought that it was somebody of the Shibada type coming out to make a stance, and we're better to make a stance than Alfred Tree, the epicenter of the BUCKRY in a Jamaica. However, upon closer observation, I realized that this was actually Black Jesus with the cross that signifies the sacrifice that he has made for mankind. Well, people, it seems as if the Popo in Alfred Tree was not as impressed as some people might have been, because they said that this person was a nuisance, a menace to society. And truth be told, if points were being issued out for originality, this would probably get a 6 or a 5, because this is not the first or the second, maybe at least the third time in which we have seen this. Don't know the success rates of the ones previous to this. So at the end of the day, don't know what this man's objective agenda was. However, what he would have learned is that this was an epic failure, because the system is making it abundantly clear that, listen, we don't have any sorts of times for gimmicks. We don't have any type of time to waste money on manpower, on these stupidity. We have bigger fishes to fry, bigger problem in Jamaica as in crime. So therefore, whenever you decide that you're going to build some sorts of cross and cross arbitrary, you're only going to make the system mad, miserable, angry, and even more crosser. You are not more than, or not less than, some sorts of crosses. Point blank and period. Now, people, the voice note from the video that you just heard is of an incident that took place off Windward Road in the vicinity of Mountain View. Well, actually, the man that lost his life that was seen in some sorts of BMW is known as Dangles YG. He is said to be the Don for a place named Backbush that is in the Mountain View vicinity. Lost his life on Windward Road. Now, people, the voice that you just heard, lady crying, seems to be some sort of family member. I guess when she got the message and she went out there, what she saw is not what she wanted to see, because this man was stiff, stone cold. This man was read up multiple corn. So based on the information that is out there, it is said that he was gunned down by some men on some sorts of bike. It seems as if he tried to make some sorts of hasty retreat, try to take for himself, avoid the bike. But the bike is more maneuverable. The people roll upon him pretty much bye to this man. Don't know how he ended up in the back seat, but based on the pictures and the videos that are making its round on social media, he was pretty much laid back in the back seat. Don't know if people put him back there or he was trying to run, jump, skip, jump over the seat. People, I don't know the specifics. I was not there. I am just speaking based on these video evidence. He was pretty much gone, DEAD, on the spot. Now, based on information that I am getting, it is said that that area, which is Mountain View, like I've told you on several occasions, is like a volcano. It flares up, then it remains dormant, and then it flares up again. It is a cycle that keeps happening over and over. It is a Jamaican version of the 100-Man War. These places are always in all sorts of conflict, whether it is external or internal. So it seems as if this one is some sort of internal strife, internal type of problem, because based on information that I am getting, persons are saying that he lost his life. There's also a post on social media saying that he is a bad mind friend, KILLER, that robbed from people that he know is friends. So therefore, the community, they are having some sorts of coup d'etat, gangster style. So therefore, that is the reason or motive that he lost his life. Like me say, that is word on the street. Word on the street is not always 100 proof. Now, like I said, the reports are conflicting. Some people are saying that it is some sorts of internal strife. Some people are saying that this is based off some sorts of incident that took place in a place called Kalalubed a couple of weeks ago, or maybe last week, sorry. It is said that a young man known as Day, he went to buy some sorts of tool. However, he was robbed and KILLED. A next young man that was allegedly with him, known as Droopy, him run where him take for himself, he is still alive. So people, this is my disclaimer before I end on this topic. Don't know if the two incidents had anything to do with each other, if they are intertwined or if it is separate incidents. As soon as I get some more pertinent information based on information that I am also getting close to that same era in which the Don lost his life, a next man was caught up and taken out. People, like me said, these are all breaking news. As soon as more important information comes, I will let you know ASAP. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is one of the topics that is buzzing on social media, in the news, in a real life. That is a case that is presently in our courts as it pertains to dancehall artist Vybz Kartel and his 3 or so co-accused. In this video, I am going to speak about some of the points of contention that the judge, the lawyers have, some of the concerns that they have, some of the grounds in which they are trying to impress the judge or the system. First of all, let's start with the judge. One of the main questions that the judge has: what is the average time for retrial in Jamaica? I guess the judge is asking this question because she wants to know if these defendants should get some sorts of retrial. They have already been locked up for about 11, 12 years or so. How long is it going to take if they had a retrial to get back all the witness, to put all the evidence together, all the paperwork, so that everything can go to court and everything can flow fluently? As a matter of fact, I think that one of the lawyers for Sean Storm made some sorts of point or concern to the judge, in which he said the last time that the case went to the Court of Appeal, it took at least 21 months. However, when it went to the Privy Council, it took a month, in which the judge was kind of ticked off because pretty much this lawyer was dissing the system and the judge was defending the system, saying that two different type of things, you cannot compare apples and oranges. But like I said before, the judge had some sorts of concern, points of contention. What is the average time based on cases in the past in which a retrial is granted, in which there is some sorts of decision? So like a judge is supposed to be reasonable and fair, it is a good grounds or point of contention or concern. Rightfully so, the judge is showing that she is fair so far. Now, one of the biggest concerns any sort of lawyer would have, defense lawyer, is if their client is going to get some sorts of fair trial. Such is the case for Vybz Kartel's lawyer and the co-defendants' lawyers. They are really concerned because they say that it is going to be prejudicial. Vybz Kartel or his co-defendants are not going to get a fair trial. And mostly importantly because stuff that was being said on social media, including YouTube. Now people, this has always been a point of contention in any sorts of court, whether it is local or international. And people, this is just common sense. Because at the end of the day, no type of defense lawyer, good defense lawyer that is, wants to start any sorts of trial at a disadvantageous situation behind the 8 ball. They want to make sure all the advantage and opportunity for their client exists. So therefore, the possibility or probability is going to be greater that their client will get some sorts of favorable decision, as in some sorts of acquittal. So at the end of the day, this is not any sorts of groundbreaking technology, groundbreaking things that Vybz Kartel lawyer and the co-defendants lawyer are bringing up. This is always probably the most popular point of contention or ground that any sort of defense lawyer is going to use. People always use this locally and internationally. So therefore, all of the gimmickry and stuff that you hear on social media, it is just over sensationalization. People always ask for this. Is it going to work? Because at the end of the day, it is only inevitable. Based on what the Privy Council said, they send the case back to Jamaica. So more than likely, the possibilities are that this trial is going to go on. So therefore, if you take the trial from Kingston, you can't go to Montego Bay, Negril or Ochi, Cornwall, Middlesex or Surrey, it will have to go on. So whatever point of contention, meaning not getting a fair trial, it is going to exist in anywhere and the case must go on. So therefore, I don't think that there will be any sort of judgment made in the favor of the defense lawyers in this or on this point. An next point of contention which the defense lawyers had, and more specifically Vybz Kartel, they are saying that it is hampering the artists and his co-defendants' ability to make any sorts of money. Now, in the case of Vybz Kartel, his lawyer said he has 17 dependents. Now, people, when most people listen or hear this, it sounds like this man was just out FUCKING down the town. Because people, at the end of the day, I understand people like kids or love kids. And if you can afford it, you can do whatever you so choose in a free market economy. So I say this to say that when the average person here, specifically the judge in this case, that one man have 17 pitney, based on the image that is painted of him that he is some sort of womanizer, a reckless dancehall artist, I don't know if this judge is going to look at Vybz Kartel in his favor. So therefore, the point is this: she or the court is going to say, well, whatever plans you had, you pretty much put yourself in this predicament. There is evidence out there in which people claim say you do this and you do that as it pertains to lizards. It is not as if this appeal came back on some sorts of evidence. It is because of some sorts of technicality, as in jury misconduct or the judge doing some sorts of BS. So the children that you have, that is your responsibility. That is something that you decided that you want to do. And the fact that Vybz Kartel and his people are always out bragging, showing all sorts of vehicles, including his kids, showing all sorts of house in which he is going to stay locally and internationally. I don't think that this judge is going to think that Vybz Kartel is actually suffering because of the amount of songs that we've seen out on YouTube, on social media, all over the place, all of the trending on all sorts of streaming platform. It is not like he is not hindered, but me just say, is he severely hindered? So I say this to say that a retrial is going to be granted based on the evidence, based on information that is out there, based on the claims, based on the allegations, based on what the witnesses said, based on what the prosecution have. It is not going to be based if this man 17 dependents are going to be hindered or hampered financially. This is not about sympathy. This is not about emotions. Fly low or fly high, this trial is going to happen. This is just protocol and procedures. So therefore, these co-defendants or defendants cannot go back to the court and say that the judge did not rule fairly. She is just asking questions, going through the motions, going through the protocols, going through the procedures. So if I was a betting man, I would say 100% that this retrial is going to happen. And not only will it happen, Vybz Kartel and his co-defendants more than likely are not going to come out on any sorts of bail. The cycle is going to continue just like the original trial. This second or retrial will be the same thing. Probably end up back at the Privy Council next 20 years or so. There is not going to be any sort of sympathy from the judge. There is not going to be any sort of sympathy for the DPP. They simply want BLOOD. And the fact that they did 11 or so years ago, that is not going to be sufficient. The DPP is going to want to make sure that these people max out for whatever it is alleged they are charged that they did. Simple as that. No other way. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. And last but not least, please subscribe to my next channel. It is called Jamaica Dancehall Source. I'll be pinning the link to that channel in the description of this video. Bless up.